Kanoko Shibori earned its name from its three-dimensional pattern, which resembles the spots on a fawn. It has become the generic term for any silk fabrics produced in Kyoto. Let's see the process of shibori. A to-scale pattern design is drawn on a stencil paper. The pattern is then engraved according to the design to be stenciled onto the fabric. The engraving is done on a special waterproof washi paper that has been lacquered with persimmon juice. The blue ink to duplicate the design onto the fabric is called aobana, an ink made from tsuyukusa flower. A brush is used to stencil the design. The shibori process is continued based on the pattern drawn by the aobana. Honkita shibori represents the most high-class Kyo Kanoko shibori technique. The fabric is pinched with the fingertips and is bound 9 times with a non-twisted silk thread called shike ito. Approximately 150,000 of these beads are formed on a shibori kimono. Even more beads are required for a furisode and can take over 2 years to complete. After the binding is the dyeing process.
1日300粒かねえ400。
Dyeing is done by hand, as it has always been. The pattern drawn by the aobana is removed with hot water. The color of the dye is mixed using several types of dyes. The temperature of the water to dye the fabric ranges from 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. A wooden or bamboo pole is used to ensure the fabric is dyed evenly. Each one of the beads are carefully unbound. A copper steamer is used to smooth out any wrinkles in the fabric. The beads turn out better by steaming from the back of the fabric. Steam iron machines have been invented in recent years, but each process in shibori is done carefully by hand.
なるほど、そう。
The section fabric to be dyed is left placed outside over the edge of the tub, and the section to be undyed is placed in the tub. Paper is placed where there are gaps. After removing the pins, a wooden hammer and pole is used to tightly bind the tub. The pattern is ruined if any dye gets in. It is an extremely physically demanding technique. The preparation for the tub is complete once gaps are filled with paper. Once it is done, it needs to be sent to the artisan for dyeing as soon as possible. The tub made from Japanese cypress will expand in water, and the linen rope will also shrink, which helps to seal the tub. The smooth coordination between the artisan who seals the tub and who dyes is important. The tub is opened. The fabric is dyed beautifully red and kept white where it is supposed to. Oshi shibori is a dyeing technique where parts of the fabric are covered in material such as a plastic sheath to prevent dyeing. The plastic sheath is then used to cover the fabric according to the pattern design and bound with linen thread. Highly skilled technique is required to have the pattern turn out like the design. The thread used is linen. It will shrink in water and bind the fabric tightly. This very last step uses the power of nature. This technique was founded before World War II and was called machine shibori. Though its name contained the word machine, it had meant the use of needles while binding with the fingers. Compared to honhita shibori, where about 300 beads can be bound, 3,000 per day could be bound with this technique. However, it was still a long process to bind the entire fabric for one kimono. There are many different types of kyokanoko shibori techniques. There are over 10 processes until kyokanoko shibori kimono is complete. These processes are separate specializations. The finished product is created through the joint effort of artisans and their skills and their cooperation. Shibori is Japan's most ancient fabric dyeing technique. It is said this technique had already been in use even in the 7th century. However, this simple yet charming technique has been used all around the world. Japan's shibori technique is said to have originated from India and was brought to Japan through the Silk Road.
Yeah, that's wild.
Today, new shibori and dyeing techniques are being developed. Shibori, which has gone through remarkable development in Japan, has become a traditional technique that has gained the world's attention. It will continue to produce creations with its unique three-dimensional pattern and creative sense.
Alla macchina.
Very fine work, yeah? I just show you. Oops. Show this fabric before you see the exhibition. This kind of there is all bound by hand. I also can show you this fabric. It's like this dots there. It's all bound on the thread. You have a look at it.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
And those fabrics, they are not dyed yet.
No.
And if those are dyed, yeah, it will be something like this. With this stretchy texture, you think, yeah.
You keep the shape, you wouldn't steam it any further.
To make a kimono, we have to steam the fabric. But to make some scarves or bags, sometimes we just leave this
Just
texture.
a small amount of steam.
Yes, but even
So
after
what is this material?
this is silk material, and this is the original material.
Yeah.
It was white, it was tied that way, and it was dyed in blue.
There's more here.
Yes. You also can have a look at this one too. This is after the dyeing process. And actually some of the parts are still tied here. Can you just hold this one? Thank you. But yeah, I was going to show you. This is after the steaming process. But you still feel the
You do the
texture.
texture.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
steam it completely flat.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's great.
Yes. But very time consuming one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
About
Thank you.
2 years, 3 years to make one kimono.
Uh-huh.
And no
And the
mechanic
thread?
machine. Sorry?
The thread?
Yep.
The thread that you use
Yep.
to bind.
Yeah.
Is it a silk?
If it's tied by hand, this very thin silk thread is used.
That's what's
When
Yeah.
this the tool is used, with the hook or cotton thread is used.
Okay.
And when the plastic sheet technique, bow shibori, for this technique, linen string is used. So
Linen
different
because it
materials, or
shrinks.
exactly. Different materials they're used for different
So with the
techniques.
plastic you can get more bigger shapes.
bigger shape, and you can
Yeah.
make a white spot.
Yeah.
And this one was actually also made with the plastic sheet.
Yeah, sure.
Sewing technique,
Mm.
plastic sewing, winding,
And
something
then
you can combine. Yeah, combination.
Mm.
More than 50 different types. Yes. And one more thing.
Can we also see the blue?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah. And can I just get this one? Ooh.
That's a lovely colour. Is
Oh.
that a natural dye, this one?
Synthetic dyes,
This
actually.
is
Yeah.
synthetic, this one.
Um,
Do you experiment with natural dyes?
Indigo, yes, but other natural dyes, it's hard to set the color of the fabric, and the color won't stay in the fabric for a long time. It fades quite quickly.
Yeah.
So some of the fabrics, shibori fabrics, takes
Indigo.
2 years, 3 years to complete. So we want to keep the color
Yeah,
for lasting
sure.
a long time. So
لا هذا الانديجو
that's the reason why we use synthetic dyes.
الأزرق انديجو.
Mm-hmm.
That's an unusual colour. It's
Yeah,
lovely.
but yes,
That's
but
lovely.
when we make some shibori kimonos, we
Okay.
use very subtle colors.
This
and
one
this-
is
yeah.
supposed to be. This one is supposed to be steamed later.
Steam later to make a kimono, yes. But
To make the
sometimes you just
kimono.
can keep the texture like that way too.
Sometimes they keep it as it is.
Yeah. And then I was gonna show you how we.
But how we when we wash it, it's going to open, right?
If you wash in water, you lose the texture. It gets flattened. But
Yeah.
nowadays you also can do a dry clean, and then
Okay.
you can keep the texture if you don't press or steam. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. I would just show you the undoing process. Maybe you can take a video of how I undo the thread. You ready? So,
Yeah.
If I pull the fabric or the
Hold on.
thread, they sort of pop up. Okay.
Yeah.
I wait for you too.
You pull the fabric, not the thread.
Not the thread. Always pull the fabric, and all the thread they pop up with the sound like this. So when you tie the dots, it takes very long time, but when you undo, it's quite quick, and the pattern appears like this.
I see.
Yeah.
Beautiful pattern.
And then sometimes you can change the number of binding times to get different result. Means like this part.
And how much a yard would cost or a meter would cost of something like that?
If it's a very nice shibori fabric, it costs you more than let's say one kimono costs you about 10 million yen.
That is in dollars. US dollars.
$60,000.
$60,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So one to make one kimono, you need about 14 meters long material. So like 1 meter would be like quite expensive.
How wide is the fabric?
This is the normal width for kimono fabric. It's about 38 centimeters width.
And then they.
We normally cut the fabric into 8 pieces and then sew it together to a kimono shape.
I see.
When you look at a kimono, they're always made in panels.
I
So we
see.
make the raw material first, and then we make it a kimono. People
Right.
think that like we make kimono shape first and we tie and dye, but actually we make the fabric first, and then we sew it to kimono. Yeah, that's how it works. Yes.
Interesting. Good.
And traditionally, this